Hey guys, what is going on? Devon here. Hope you guys are having a good day so far, and welcome to another installment of Kingdom Hearts 101. I am joined, per usual, by the man, the myth, the beard, Mr. Josh Music. Josh, say hello.
It's beardless now, but...
yeah, because you shaved your beard, you heathen. Oh my goodness. I'm going to start calling you the beardless now. It'll be great. But Josh, we are continuing our coverage of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. For those of you who didn't check out the last episode, first of all, you should probably do that. And second of all, we're doing things a little bit differently for Birth by Sleep, as our three main characters, Terra, Ventus, and Aqua, are all playable in the game across 3 separate campaigns, so each campaign will be its own separate episode of the podcast. So last week, we talked about Terra's campaign. Today, we will be talking about Ventus's campaign, and then next time, we will be talking about Aqua's campaign, as well as Birth by Sleep as a whole. So yeah, today we'll be talking about Ventus's campaign, everything that happened there, and what we predict to happen in Aqua's campaign, and yeah. So with all that said, Josh, what were your thoughts on Ventus's campaign of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep?
I really enjoyed it. It finally started giving insight onto with the whole, like if you played the other games, or even if you just played Kingdom Hearts 2 and just like were like, what? Mm-hmm. This one kind of explains the whole Sora, Sora, Roxas, Ventus, Vanitas, like, it all connects in a way, so it's interesting to see that all play out in this campaign. Mm-hmm. It also kind of, like, explains things, as I was thinking in Terra's campaign that, like, man, Ven is acting a little bit weird, but like now that you actually play through his campaign, you can kind of see like why he does certain things. Because he's also being lured into doing certain things by Vanitas, but Vanitas is, part of Xehanort's little gang there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and you also see some of the other characters that come in later in the game, like the boys.
The boys!
You see Lee, aka Axel, and a few other characters too that later become nobodies.
Yeah, like all of Anson's apprentices and stuff like that.
So yeah, I did notice with his playthrough though that I do still like the combat system, but it's definitely, I can see it's flawed.
Yeah.
In the fact that, like, D-Links are only usable, like, you can only get, like, the power-ups to fill up the bar when you're fighting regular enemies, but then when it comes to boss battles, you're like, okay, I can use it up, but then I can't recharge the D-Link abilities. And then later, the D-Link abilities, like, depending... Mickey's, like, the only one that I've really noticed. I didn't get a chance to try Donald or Goofy, but Mickey was the only one that I thought was actually, like, worthwhile using. The rest were, like, at little lower levels. Yeah, I could see their use, but, like, it's to the point where all their abilities are just stuff that you can already get with your more action commands. Yeah. So that was the other thing too, like potions are basically useless.
Yeah, basically all the items are, well, there's a few that are kind of useful, like the balloon letters refill your D-Link gauge all the way up, and I think ethers fill up your focus, but even then when you just fight regular enemies you can fill up your focus that way, like the drive gauge in 2.
And even the shot lock ability, I found like, yes, it was cool, but I found like I wasn't using it as much. I was literally just using the stuff in the commands list. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, like, again, I still like that better than the regular system for the most part. It's got its flaws, but I do like that you still have variety, though. It's like, oh, well, maybe I do want to use shot lock more and whatnot. Like, there might be someone that plays through this game and plays totally different, relies off the D-Link and the shot lock a lot more than I did, but so yeah, and his playstyle was a little bit different. It was more quick attacks compared to just like beating the heck out of things like with Terra. So I did like that a little bit better. It made his campaign go faster, even though there was a few times where I was thinking like, I could probably literally run past these enemies and just keep going to like bosses and stuff like that and just plow through the game, which more than likely you could do.
Imagine we were still playing on beginner. Like, you would just be ripping through everything.
So yeah, this is one of the few games where I'd actually like if I had this game myself, I would just say like if I bought this, I after the first campaign with Terra, I probably would have just went to like I would have tried Ventus in like either the hardest or second hardest difficulty and then see like what happens. If it's way too hard, then like just quit out and then restart the campaign. But like I found like even on normal difficulty, I was just like, man, this is still like there was some instances with bosses, but like even after like I remember in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, like some of the bosses I'd be like 5 or 6 tries. Like this one was just like well, especially Kingdom Hearts 2 would be like 5 or 6 tries. This one was just like okay, maybe 3 tries, and then I finally get what I'm missing, or just happen to have things align better. But and it was so to move on away from combat, the campaign, it was finally interesting to see where all the enemies come from. The fact that they come straight from Ventus, I was like, okay, that explains it. That's really freaking cool now, and that's why you see like you never see him in any other games. I was like, that's awesome. It was kind of interesting to see Mickey's also a little bit of a troublemaker. Like the fact that like later on Sora goes against his word, but it's like looking earlier on like Mickey wasn't always a good like listener himself, which was kind of funny. Other than that, it's the same exact worlds as Terra's campaign with just like a little bit of like minor tweaks. I guess this time I would say I like the Snow White world.
The Dwarf Worldlands, yeah.
Yeah. Just because the dwarfs were pretty funny. And the fact that, like, yeah, I like that one, but I think I liked better was, Sleeping Beauty. Because of the, like, labyrinth. I thought that was really cool. That was actually, like, a cool level design. Like, it could have been a little bit annoying at times trying to figure out where to go, but I thought overall it was really neat. That one was, like, easily a standalone, like if I was gonna say like, oh, what's one world that out of the game that you could think of that would be different than pretty much any other Kingdom Hearts games in terms of like level design, that was like the only. Or there was some other ones with like puzzle-esque stuff, but that one was like the first that I really stuck out. So yeah. Trying to think of any other things that I could talk about. This is one of the few times that like I'm actually like conscious and alert and on the ball this time.
I guess still talking about Vanitas, for the most of the campaign, we still see him with that cool helmet, but when he took off the helmet...
Oh yeah, he was Dark Sora.
He was Evil Sora! I'm trying to remember if they... I'm trying to remember if they explained in Ventus's campaign why... Because I think in Aqua's campaign, they do kind of explain it a little bit further. But yeah, I think there was some hullabaloo going on in the prologue that, like, when Xehanort took him to Destiny Islands, it's just like, here, you can just lay out and die for a little bit. I'm gonna go. That they did that, because there was like, because Ventus was like comatose and whatnot, and there was that light that fixed his dive to the heart scenario there.
Yeah.
I won't specifically say whomst or what happened there, but that basically, because before that, Vanitas was just like a blank face. He didn't really have anything. But then after that scenario,
sort of like another character.
Yeah. So that'll be really fascinating to look into that. I'm trying to think if there was any other story stuff that because I know, because we talked about how we now see stuff from Ventus's perspective after being in Terra's campaign, but I think it's also kind of cool to now playing through Ventus's campaign, whenever we encounter scenes that we saw from Terra's campaign, we now kind of have a little bit of context to what we saw from Ventus, but now we're also, whenever we encounter Terra, we're also kind of have that context in the back of our mind of like what he just went through. It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's like when you initially see him, it's like Terra's just coming off as like he's just running around doing shit. It's like no, like he had stuff to deal with as well. Wait, it's gonna be interesting to see what Aqua is gonna go through, because both of them were basically like why are you so mean?
Yeah.
Like, get off our backs, lady. And, like, I'm thinking, like, my predictions for her campaign is going to be, like, she's trying to follow the master's orders and, like, they suspect, like, something is going on, but they just can't quite put their finger on it. And I bet she's got the most knowledge about what's going on, but has to keep it quiet. So that's my prediction. And I feel like she's going to have a lot to go through, and, like, probably she's gonna have the worst to go through, and meanwhile she's taking the most crap from her friends.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm trying to think. I guess leading into that topic, yeah, what other predictions do you have for Aqua's campaign?
I'm gonna say, like, the other thing near the end, I have a feeling like she's gonna go into hiding possibly because Terra is a walking suit of armor, and his body's being used by Xehanort, and Ven is now just a floating heart.
Yeah.
So with her having no friends and no master, I have a feeling she's probably gonna go into hiding somehow, unless she's dead too. But I don't think so. Like, she was floating around with Ven, with Mickey, kind of helping out near the end.
I love that too. It's just like they're two floating sets of armor, and then Mickey's just like, hey.
I'm also part of the franchise. Yeah, what's going on?
Just in case you forgot, this is a Disney game.
Yeah, honestly, to be quite honest, there's a few times I kind of forgot, besides going to the Worlds. I was thinking about that. I was like, Mickey hasn't shown up for a while, and it's like, I mean, it almost feels like this isn't a Disney game much anymore. It's like you don't really see a whole lot of Disney stuff except for the Worlds, but I don't know, I still really liked it. It's just like it wasn't like as in your face as it normally is.
That's true.
Like, oh, I wouldn't say in your face, but like as prevalent. Like the fact that, what was it, Kingdom Hearts 2, that they had that one world where it was black and white. What was it called?
Timeless River.
Timeless River. Yeah, like stuff like that. Like you didn't have quote unquote like Disney-esque worlds besides like the standard, like their already made up story from their animated movies.
Or live action movies.
Yeah, we won't speak of that too much about, Pirates of the Caribbean. No, but like, yeah, like you didn't see a whole lot of like original Disney-esque worlds. It was more doing their own thing, and then stuff that we've already seen before. At least there was no Atlantica.
Yeah, no. I mean, we still technically had a rhythm mini game though when we go to Disney Town.
Oh my god, with the ice cream machine. It was better than the race, the kart race, the
That's
broken ass kart race. So yeah, I'm excited to see what's gonna happen with Aqua. I suspect she's probably gonna have the hardest like story, like the most tear-jerking story of the campaigns, and I have a feeling like with her magic, like already having cure and stuff like that, I'm assuming it's gonna be a cakewalk with her for the most part. Yeah, I have a feeling.
Yeah, I think it'll be, yeah, because yeah, Aqua's strength isn't that great, but her magic is definitely like quality. So it'll probably, I don't know if, because I was able to beat, when I first got Birth by Sleep on the PSP, I was able to like beat Terra and Ventus's campaigns over the course of like 2 days. So, but Aqua's was the one that like took me the most time to beat. I don't know if that's just because, in the words of Dan Video Games, I like to be strong. But yeah, it was, once I started getting the hang of it, it was mainly like Aqua's campaign was definitely where the difficulty curve really hit. But I think we should be able to do good. And if not, then this will finally give us a chance to do the command board, because we've been ignoring that for this entire...
Command what? I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, don't you know? It's like Fortune Street mixed with Mario Party. Just...
I mean, yeah, that's the other thing, too. Like, if we were just playing to get kind of this campaign through, like, if I was playing this by myself, like, I would explore all the extra stuff, and I bet the game would last a lot longer, too.
Yeah, because, yeah, if you just go strictly through just trying to beat the story, then yeah, these campaigns are not that long to beat. But who knows, maybe Aqua's is the one that'll finally cause us to delay this entire thing, but who knows. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to go into Aqua. Aqua's, Yeah, because I like Terra's campaign and Ventus's campaign as well, but I think Aqua's is the one that this is gonna be the big one to go into. So I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah.
And then after this, you said there's another portable game?
Yeah, we'll end up getting to that. We also have. Oh, that was another thing. Once we're done Aqua's campaign, we also got to do the final episode as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's gonna be real fun. But that'll be something that we'll have to get into. This was a really short episode. My goodness.
Well, just like when you play the same, it's not exact same, but like the campaign and playing is pretty much the same as Terra, so there's not much for me to really add on to it.
That's fair.
It's like, yeah, sure, Ven's attack style is different. It's more quick paced, and his campaign is slightly tweaked, but it's still like you're still getting the same kind of story and the same kind of gameplay.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm not complaining about it. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely like this way of doing stuff. Like, it adds more replayability to the game itself, and I enjoy it. Like I said, so far, like, it's probably my favorite in terms of playing. I wouldn't say maybe not my favorite for story. Okay, how about this? It's my favorite playing of the portable consoles.
Okay.
I will say that much. It is the best playing of the out of the portable console ones, because I am glad there's no deck system in terms of like cards and crap and just like gimmicky things that like just no, like this is what I want from a game. And
yeah, that's fair.
Story wise, I will say it's good, but I think Chain of Memories had a better story. Although it was definitely more in depth. Like, this is a lot more streamlined in terms of story, which is also good. Like, you have less characters to really worry about. And actually, it's smart in the way that it seems that, I don't know about Aqua's campaign, but the fact that they added Donald and Goofy in near the end, and you see more of Ventus. Like, the first, when you play through as Terra, it's like, yeah, you get some characters in, but it's not overwhelming. And then it's like, oh, we're adding a little bit more character development, a few more characters into the mix for this next one. And if Aqua adds more, it's like, oh, that's kind of nice. You see like a progression. It's not like Chain of Memories where, oh my god, there's so many. They
just throw everything at you, and that's just Sora's campaign.
Yeah, there is so many characters. Like, holy, I still can't name off all of them. It's like, okay, you got Naminé. That's pretty straightforward. You got Riku, aka Fake Riku.
Yeah.
And then you've got just so many nobodies.
And we're talking about the literal term nobodies, not in that these guys don't mean anything.
It's like you got Larxene.
Yeah.
Axel. Then you've got Marluxia.
Yeah.
And that's all I could really remember. There's so many. It's not like they're forgettable characters. Just like their names are so like. It's not like it's Bob, Sue, Doug. But yeah, we're totally like off topic.
It's okay. This is what Kingdom Hearts does to people. It just makes us go stir crazy.
Oh, I'm glad you got me on this series. I really enjoy it.
That's good.
It makes me excited actually for like eventually when we get to the third game and the future of the series. I just really hope that I know, didn't the third one come on Xbox One as well?
Yeah. I
just really hope they don't understand, like, when they first came out, like, you know, there was the DS was the only portable console that was really big at the time, and then the PSP came out later. But it's like, oh my god, like so many. I'm glad that they finally came out with it all on PS4, because like that's one thing that drives me up the wall is like having to like go through like different consoles and stuff like that. It's like if you're really a diehard fan, imagine how much more. Imagine like when Kingdom Hearts first came out, having a PS2, and then you see Chain of Memories come out. It's like I have to get a DS, and then you see Birth by Sleep come out on PSP. You're like, are you freaking kidding me? They're gonna buy a PSP.
Yeah, I got lucky in that I owned a PSP, but my sister also owned a DS, so it's just
really?
oh, thank God.
So
I can play days. It works out.
So you just ended up getting the game for her DS and just like, hey, I'll borrow your DS.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it worked out in the end.
Like, I mean, now as an adult, like, it's pretty, like, not that I want, but it's pretty easy to get, like, all the consoles if I wanted to, but, like, as a kid, it's like, I don't have no money. Mom, Dad, I need another console. What? Do you like the one that you already have? No,
yeah.
it's not. It's
I remember those conversations. It was wonderful.
Yeah, no.
But
yeah, I'm still really enjoying the game. It kind of makes me sad that the playstyle's not going to be showing up anymore. But you know what? It's. I will say it is. I'm starting to notice it is flawed. The fact that you literally don't need you really only need commands, and even at that, like, he can stack like cures and curagas and all a bunch of other, like, it's easy to like basically go through and whip ass no matter what. So, but
yeah. I'm excited. I'm happy that you're enjoying it, and I'm really excited for Aqua's campaign when we get to it next. But until then, I believe that is our episode on Ventus's campaign of Birth by Sleep. Thank you, Josh, as always, for joining me.
Yeah, I'll be Mr. Beardless from now on, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll remember that for the intro for next time. But yeah, speaking of which, I think we'll cut this episode here. Thank you all so much, as always, for joining us and listening in on our fun conversations of Kingdom Hearts. If you like this video, please hit that like button. It really supports the channel. Comment below what you think of Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. And of course, subscribe and ring the bell so that you know when subscriptions get in, because YouTube has no idea what it's doing anymore. And as always, be sure to follow Shadow Shovel Productions on both Twitter and Instagram for more information on yours truly. And until next time, I'd say that's about it. Josh, you have any final remarks?
Follow Devon on his Patreon at
I don't have a Patreon yet. Okay, look, I kind of mentioned this in the last episode, but if we can get me to at least 1,000 subscribers, then maybe I'll consider starting a Patreon. But we're not even there yet.
We're starting a GoFundMe, so
my God.
we can get Devon's Patreon off the ground, and
yeah. But yeah, as always, thank you all so much for watching. May your heart be your guiding key. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.